And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Depending on the state you live, it could cost you if you cheat. A jury in North Carolina has ordered a woman to, get this, pay her boyfriend's ex-wife $1.75 million. Brene Kennard is on the right of your screen there with Tim Montague. Kennard was found liable of engaging in criminal conversation with Tim and alienation of affection during his marriage. With Akira Montague. Now, the woman on the left, that is Akira. Joining us to talk about it, divorce attorney Ronique Baston Robinson. So how often is a law like this used? How does that even work?
Well, it's not used very often. It's not used in Texas at all, because in Texas we no longer have alienation of affection on the books. However, we did at one point in time, but it is not used very often. But in the state of North Carolina, it is used more frequently than in the other states. There are about 6 states where you can use this law of alienation of affection, but North Carolina seems to be the most active.
Right. And so when we see a judgment like this, $1.7 million, is that the reason why they use it in North Carolina? Are they trying to get a payday, or is this number unusual?
The number itself is unusual. Normally, you would not get a amount so high. This one seemed to have a lot of emotion in it, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that she didn't have an attorney, and she tried to represent herself. And what we hear about people who try to represent themselves is that they have a full
$1.7 million judgment. Now, how likely is this to be paid? Probably not. Well, is it ceremonial? What? I mean, they want it, sure.
Well, it depends, because, I mean, if there are assets that can be collected against, there are creditors' rights that can be pursued. I know she did say that she was intending to appeal the decision. However, in a lot of civil cases, in order to appeal a decision, you have to put out a bond, either a surety bond or a cash bond. And if she doesn't have that, then she may not actually have the right to appeal, and then they could begin to attempt to collect against her assets. If she has any assets, my understanding is that she does make a considerable amount from her influencer status.
Oh, well, then she may have $1.7 million.
I don't know what she has, but she might, whatever she has could get attacked.
And so when we think about a law, any other strange divorce laws out there that we may not be familiar with that would be shocking to us like this? Who knew you could be paid for interfering with a marriage like this?
Well, a lot of wives in North Carolina know.
I guess they do.
But it is a strange law. Criminal conversation is very strange. It is not an actual criminal law. And if you looked at the judgment, you saw that the jury gave $250,000 for criminal conversation. So criminal conversation is really adultery. It's for having sexual intercourse. It's not an actual criminal law. It's a civil penalty.
Biblical in terms of the Bible. You know, you're violating that covenant.
Yes, absolutely. However, that's a little strange, right? That it would be called a criminal conversation when it's actually, a physical act.
Now, if someone wanted to sue, say here in Texas, for someone interfering with their marriage, just civilly, would they have the right to do that? Could they do that? Would it make sense?
Well, they could not sue the third party, meaning you can't sue the person that interfered with the marriage, but you can sue your spouse for adultery. And so in Texas, we have no-fault divorce, but we also have grounds for divorce. And one of those grounds is adultery. And so if you can prove that your spouse committed adultery, then you could ask for more of the community estate as a result of that in alleged grounds.
All right. Ronique Robinson, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. You learn something new every day.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.